Welcome! In this video we're going to learn how to play Kingdom Legacy Feudal Kingdom, published by Fricks Games. So down at the table you can see this is just basically a deck box. I was turned on to this game by one of the viewers of the channel and was intrigued. Basically it is a solo campaign full of exploration, delight, and adventure. So you will discover new cards, learn how to use them to your advantage, and how to survive hardships. Some cards will be torn, others will be upgraded and enhanced with stickers. I won't be doing the legacy things here. I'll be using some card sleeves of the same size to have the potential to play again or hand it off to someone else after I've completed. So whatever it takes to build the ultimate kingdom. By the way, what will you name it? Write the name on the side of the box with the most permanent marker you can find. I'm not going to do that either, but we are going to be building the beautiful kingdom of Dale. So inside, we are going to have just a stack of cards, along with a rule sheet and some stickers. And if you're worried about spoilers, basically for setup, you're going to use the same 10 cards. So we're going to see the front 10 cards, and after I go through the basics of how to play, if you don't want to see anything else, you can pass on that. Basically the legacy components start around 23. So basically every round we're going to draw 2 more cards. But first let's go through the welcome here. Make sure to read the rules before opening this pack or scan the QR code for a tutorial. Memorize the golden rules, which are on the other side. The orientation of the cards in this game is important, so do not shuffle, rotate, or flip the cards except when instructed to do so by the rules. So looking at the one card, you can see basically the cards are going to do different things depending on their orientation. So all the cards will start with the number up top, and that is what we're using. And then if it gets upgraded, it'll be flipped over, and so forth. So the golden rules, part of how to play. Number 1, never rotate or flip a card unless using a rule to do so, unless you're showing someone what's going on. Number 2, you may inspect all sides of cards in play and in your discard pile, but you may not look at cards in the box before discovering them. Rule 3, at the start of each round, except the first, we're going to discover the next 2 cards in the box. So the core game goes to card 70, but there are a lot more cards than that in this deck. I just peeked, there was 138. So a lot of cards to discover. Let's see, a card changes its orientation either by upgrading or by another effect. It is always discarded. And upgrading a card ends your turn. So those are the core rules. So the basic rules, basically we'll just go over setup. To set up, we're going to take cards 1 through 10 from the box and leave the rest. So cards 1 through 10, and put those out of the way. So that's our setup. Basically shuffle those and create a draw deck. And you will be able to see the top card on deck. So that is the setup done. Before we get into the game overview or game turns, basically the gameplay area, we're going to have our draw deck on one side. On the other side of the table we'll have our discard pile. And in the center we will have our play area. Card anatomy, we're going to have name of the card. So this is a forest. Keywords, land, production. It's going to create 1 wood forest. Other items that can be produced will be coins, stone, metal, swords, and trade goods. And then we have the serial number, which is all cards are going to start with that up top. The upgrade cost, and an arrow pointing once you pay that cost. So after we pay 2 stone, get to upgrade this card by flipping it that direction. Effects, you can spend effects to basically you'll discard the card to do what it says. In this case, we're going to gain 3 wood resources, and then we upgrade, but it's a downgrade to a felled forest, and that goes to our discard pile. There is an icon reference, so we've got some passive effects, so they're always going to be applied and may be used repeatedly. Activated effect, which is what we just looked at here, may discard this card to carry out the effect. Time effects, discard them unless they're permanent. Some cards will have a border of stone at the top, which means they stay in play. Time effects will end your turn to carry out the effect. Destroy effect is ripping the card up if you so choose. Then the small yellow lightning bolt is an optional triggered effect. Red lightning bolt is triggered, so you've got to do it, and then you've got one-time effects there. Boosting production goes over how we can do that, and if there's slashes, it's basically you can get one or the other. And let's see, that's all we need to get started. So on your turn, after you shuffle, you're just going to draw 4 cards, not so much a hand as you are putting cards into play. You've got 5 options you can do on your turn, which is produce, upgrade, which ends your turn, use a card effect, advance, or pass. So producing is basically taking a card saying, hey, I'm going to collect the resource, and it goes to your discard pile. And you'll be using that to pay for other cards, most likely to upgrade. Using a card effect, same thing, discard it. I'm going to get these resources or whatever's shown down there, and you'll follow through that with that effect, and it gets discarded. Advancing is adding 2 more cards. So if you don't like your options here, you can bring 2 more cards into play to give you additional options, and you can do that multiple times if you so choose. And typically when your deck gets to the end, at the end of the round, that's when you'll use the pass to just take everything and discard it into your pile. At the end of a round, you'll start again by taking the top 2 cards from the main deck, shuffling in, rinse and repeat. And like I said, until you get to card 23, there's no legacy, so you can try it out. And if you don't like the way you've progressed, start over if you'd like. So we've done the unboxing, the rules overview. So let's go ahead and get started. So we've got our basic 10 cards here. We'll give them a shuffle. Well, actually, since I'm playing the non-legacy way, I'm going to go ahead and sleeve these along with my stickers, and that will make my shuffling a little bit nicer on the cards. So basically this first round, still no spoilers. You're just going to see the first starting 10 cards. After that, new cards will be coming in, so you can tune out after that. And then once we get to 23, I think it's card 23, then some legacy things. So I'll play until we bring out the legacy components and do one more round after that. So we've shuffled, got our deck of cards. So we're going to bring out 4 cards up here. And what we can see for our options, I can produce 4 coins. It takes 2 to upgrade that, 2 to upgrade this one, and so forth. So it looks like my turn is going to be creating 2. It's just, do I want to upgrade my wild grass, which gives me an effect down here. If I upgrade that, I can discard a friendly card to gain 2 coins. Or if I upgrade the distant mountain, it gives me access to a rock. And where does that go? And like I said, you can always look at the front and the backs. I think I am going to produce with those. So we've got 2 coins. Our resources are what they call invisible in this game. Then I'm going to go ahead and spin those 2 coins to take card number 1. flip it or upgrade it to the bottom side. So now we have this additional ability. We've flipped a card, so that automatically gets discarded. And upgrading is one of the items that ends our turn. End of turn is discarding. Then we start another turn as long as we have cards left. So 4 cards come out. We've got wild grass, so we produce a coin, produce wood. We've got an effect to get 3 wood. And we can use an effect to spin a coin to gain a wood. So with those 4 coins or cards, I don't think we have anything we can do. So we're going to advance into our last 2 cards. And we'll produce 2 coins to upgrade some wild grass. And that is round 1. So now we go into spoilers if you care. But basically the way the next round goes is we have this stack of cards. We are going to take the top 2 cards. We can take a look at those now. So we've got a jungle and a river. So that one allows us to spin a coin to gain a wood. 3 coins to upgrade. And we can see how that progresses. At the end, we've got a tree house that stays in play until we use its ability. And then we had the river, spending 3 wood to upgrade to a bridge. 3 stone gets us a stone bridge, which gets us some explorers. So we discovered the 2 new cards. They will get shuffled in, and we will start round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's what we can produce. Let's see how we can use that to our benefit. I think we're going to spend these 2 to create 2 coins, to spend those 2 coins on production, to make our distant mountain a rocky area. That will end the turn. Then river, distant mountain, plains, and wild grass. And it looks best to spin those 3 or produce those 3 coins. So we can turn our plains card over. And the cards I use are textured on the back, so it does kind of matter. So we've got some farmlands creating 2 coins for us, or producing. So next turn, we've got our trader, jungle, plains, and a forest. So basically each of these takes 3 coins to be upgraded, but these don't actually produce anything. We can use this ability, which discards it, to create 2 coins by discarding another, but that doesn't help. Getting 3 wood doesn't help, so yeah, just end our turn. So prep for the next round. We're going to bring in cards 13 and 14. So this is something different. Whenever we discover a card with this, we have to make a choice which side we want to play with. So we've got the field worker. It's an effect, choose a land in play, gain its production as resources. Or we have a servant. As an effect, we can gain one of those 3 resources. Do we want to risk that this card comes in with another land? I mean, it's pretty good now, but hypothetically, if we upgraded everything, it might not be the best. So that's always going to give us an option. All right, while I ponder that one, we've got the bandit here. So as a required effect, when played, it's going to block a card that has a production of a coin on it. So that will cover up a card. As an effect, we can spend a sword to defeat it and gain any 2 resources. Or it can be flipped over by a missionary card, which we don't have access to. And that creates a worker. They can choose a building in play to gain its production as resources. So no matter what we want, this guy comes in this way. And eeny, meeny, miny, mo, we'll just keep the field worker. Okay, starting our next round. So, in case this looks like something you're interested in, this is just a $15 game. And of course, $13 in sleeves if you want to do it that way. You can find cheaper sleeves, of course, but... All right, so 4 cards come out. Those are what we can produce. That one's 2 coins. Everything wants 2 coins except that, which isn't an option. We will spend. We'll produce 2 coins to upgrade our mountain. On the other side. Have I seen anything that creates a sword yet? I don't think so. All right. There, we want to flip this stuff over. Takes a lot of rock. All right, there are 4 cards coming out. And a bandit on deck. I really want to upgrade this. So, I mean, we could upgrade that. But I'm going to advance. Yeah, that was a bad call. We will... That's not getting upgraded at all. So we'll cover that up. So we can spin to get a wood. So we're going to advance again. That lets us choose a land in play to gain its production as resources. So we could potentially get 2 stone, which would upgrade that to a sacred well. And what's this upgrade to? A quarry. Well, I'm just going to bring this out also. That gives us options. I mean, I wanted to get that upgraded, but getting this completed seems pretty good too. So we're going to use that effect to create 3 wood, which means we change that to a felled forest. And with that 3 wood, we're going to turn our farmlands into a food barns. And we upgraded, and that's going to end everything. Don't know if that was optimal, but hey, that's what I did. So the next 2 cards we have coming in, we have another bandit. We know what that does. And a distant mountain, we've seen that too. All right, so we'll mix those in. And see how they come out for us. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, bandit right off the bat. We are going to have the bandit go on that one. Then we're going to advance. We're going to choose a land in play to gain its production as resources. We'll choose this land to get a coin. Then use those two, so we can use 3 to flip this plains over to another farmland. And then the bandit comes out. And just so you know, all these cards come into play at the same time. So it's not the bandit comes in first and he can't find anything. Everything shows up and then he finds something. Those 2 cards aren't going to do it for us, so we'll bring in those. And what's that get us? The Sacred Well. Sure, let's see what the Sacred Well does for us. We are going to spend a coin to gain 2 stone. And that is going to turn our forest into the Sacred Well. So when we play that, we can discover the card 82 or 83. All right, next 4 cards. Got a jungle, rocky area, mountain, and our felled forest. So not much production there at all. Spend a coin to make that back to a forest again, but I kind of want the lumberjack. I think we'll have the opportunity to do that again, so we'll spend some money to replant some trees. Ending a round. It's going to bring in cards 17 and 18, so we've got a heal. That can go into a chapel, then a church, and a cathedral. And that's how we can find a missionary. And some east cliffs. Definitely need to get our stone production up. Into a smithy, an arsenal, and a wall. And that's the symbol I want. Okay, our next round. See what we end up with. All right, 2 people coming in. So we've got some cliffs, our Sacred Well, well, we might as well do this so we can shred this card to bring out card 82. When a card's discovered, it goes down to our discard pile here. So end of turn, discard to make 1 other card stay in play. See, we can upgrade that to have 2 stay in play, 3 stay in play, and a nice 15 points to have 4 stay in play. All right. Then we're going to advance, getting 2 more cards. And we're going to use, no we're not, that's a building. In that case, we're going to advance. And put that over top of there. Then we're going to choose a land to gain its production. So we'll gain the stone. Then we'll gain the stone. and spend the 2 stone to turn our forest into another well. That will end the turn, but this stays in play. So we get 4 more cards. You know what? I'm going to advance. So I just need 1 wood. And I don't know if that's available, but we're going to keep digging. This guy's going to cover up a money. Going this far, might as well keep going. Yep, spend 1 to gain wood. There we go. Okay, so we're going to spend a coin to gain a wood. So now we just need 3 stone. We will spend a coin to gain 2 stone. And then that will give us our 3rd stone so that we can upgrade our headquarters to a town hall. That gives us a sword. So potentially we can get the bandits taken care of. Play a land tile from a discard pile. Nice. All right. So that's the end of that round. Hope that was worth it. Next 2 cards. Got a forest coming in and a swamp. Forest, I think we've seen. Swamp goes to an accessible swamp, to a swamp garden, to an exotic fruit trees, which brings us out some trade goods. So we'll shuffle those in. The thing about this game, you have no idea how good you're doing till the end. Start counting up some victory points. So the game goes up to, I think I said it, 70 in here maybe. And there's 100 and some cards in the back. Let me see. It goes to 138. So bring out our food barns, rocky area, wild grass, and a river. And I'm all about upgrading. Yes, definitely all about upgrading that. So we are going to, no we're not. I would have thought it was. I think we're going to advance. And advance again, see if that helps. Yep, there we go. I got us, what was I trying to do? I've already forgotten. What's on the other side there? We can do that with that to get 2 stone. That and that to get 2 more stone. And then that to get 3 wood to upgrade there. So that's what we're doing. We're chopping down the forest to get 3 wood. Then we're going to spend that coin to get 2 stone. Do that again. Overpay for the town hall. Making that a keep. So we can play a land or building from the discard pile. And that stays in play. Then we get 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can either put this over top of that or our shrine. I think it's going for the shrine. Then we will produce. We are going to choose a land in play to gain its resources. Then we'll have 4 coins to turn our trader into a bazaar. So now, as an effect, spend a coin to gain either of those. And that stays in play again and hopefully doesn't get covered up. So there's our 4 new cards. I think we'll do it that way. And then produce or advance. All right, so that needs 1 of each resource. So there's the stone. There's, oh, nope, we need to spin that. So I think we'll spin these 3 to turn our jungle into a huge tree. Okay, so this is our last round before the legacy things start happening. So we've got a swamp and a lake. Nice, so the lake, go into a cabin, to a fishing boat, to a lighthouse. So we'll shuffle those in. Our kingdom is a growing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got our bandit. He's going after the wild grass for sure. So that is a nothing hand. So we'll bring out 2 more cards for more nothingness. We'll bring out 2 more cards. All right, so we can produce 2 stone. I think I'm going to advance again. Then I'm going to spend a coin to gain 2 wood. I've got 2 wood, and then 2 coin. And that lets us turn our rocky area into a quarry. And then end of turn, I'm going to discard to make another card stay in play. I'll make our cliffs stay in play. So get 1, 2, 3, 4 more cards. I can play a land or a building from the discard pile. So on the other side of this, a wall. I like that. So we are going to play the quarry from our discard pile. And then produce 3 stone to turn our east cliffs into a wall, and that will stay in play once we bring it out again. That'll teach us bandits a lesson. Okay, so we've got food barns, wild grass, our field worker, and a felled forest. I think I want to work on the felled forest. But joke's on me. So we'll bring those out. What was 82? Is that still in here? Do we need that coin for anything? I'll go ahead and do that. To discover our other shrine. Then I guess we'll spend 2 to make our wild grass some plains. Okay, now when we go to discover 2 new cards, we get 23 and 24. But 23 states, now that you've got the hang of the game, you may reset to start again if you like to give it your best shot. If you continue, you'll discover 4 cards, cards 24 through 27, and that's what we're going to do. Look at them now and then decide if you want to restart or continue. After this card comes the legacy part of the game, where some cards will permanently change in the course of the game. You'll not be able to reset the game once you continue down this road. Well, we're going down this road. So rules, clarifications. Cards 25, 26, and 27 are permanent. Cards meaning they are never shuffled into your deck and cannot be discarded. They are always visible and active, but are not counted as in play. The Army and Treasury are track cards that let you spend your turn and resources to gain fame. Export is a tally card. It doesn't end your turn. It lets you spend trade goods, which I think we saw in the swamp, to gain stickers, new cards, and other cool effects. You'll not be able to complete all tracks before the game ends. Try to get as far as possible. All right. So we get to discover 24 through 27. And this is where the legacy starts. So this land seems to grow anything you put into the ground. Add 1 sticker as production to a land. Then efficiency, you're getting the hang of this. Choose a building and boost its production. Add a resource sticker to it to make it produce 1 more of the resource it already produces. Resource stickers are numbered 1 through 6 on the sticker sheet. They also come in 7 through more. Reminder, parchment cards like this are destroyed after use, or not. All right, so we need to find lands and buildings, and I guess people and bandits. Lands, buildings, more buildings, more lands, and a building. All right. So here's how I'm doing the stickers. I'm drawing on the sleeve, so that is my artistic ability to make a coin, and I'm marking off on the sticker sheet here. So now building gets a boost. Ooh, another sword would be awesome, wouldn't it? That one stays in play. Or another coin. I think we're going for the, am I reading that right? Choose one building and boost its production. Yep, we're going to produce another sword on the wall. Isn't that the best sword you've ever seen? Okay. So we've done that. And now we rip up that card. Now the permanent ones. So we've got an army. In order to conquer new territory, you need to train an army. This card is permanent. We can spend our turn and the number of swords below to improve your army. Mark an X to improve your army. From left to right, when complete, we discover the vassal state. This card is worth the highest marked victory. Very nice. Then treasury. It looks like it's doing the same thing, but with money. And then we have export. Make yourself invaluable for your neighbors. It will surely pay off. This card is permanent. Always has this effect to spend the money here and keep track of how much you have spent. Between rounds, you may use effects you have reached enough production on to mark on it, so we can get stickers on different items. Okay, so those will stay in play. And we've already discovered the new card, so we'll shuffle, and this will be my last round for this video. We'll see what we can do this round. All right. So huge trees, a lake, our field worker, and a rocky area with our good farmlands on deck. So on the other side of this, we can go this direction to get to a fishing boat. Discard the top card of your deck. Guess that gets rid of any of the bad items. The only way to get that is there. All right, we are going to bring out the farmlands and our keep. Then we're going to use our field worker to gain resources from another land. To make our trees into a deep jungle. Oh, that goes away too. Bummer. Oh well. Yeah, we want to do that. Or do I? Well, was I thinking that stays in play? We haven't seen anything new. What did I just upgrade? The deep jungle. Oh, that's what I was thinking. It stays in play. Yep, not that cool. I think we're just going to spin the sword to end our turn. To X that out. All right, next turn we get a swamp, a wall, a filled forest, and a land. That stays in play. Do I spend the 2 Just go up that track. I think I'm going to. So we'll spin the 2 swords to help build our army some more. And end of our turn, we're going to discard this to make that stay in play. Then we get 4 more cards: Wild Grass, a Bazaar, our Hill, ooh, and the Bandit. We've already spent all our swords, I think. The Bandit is going to cover up the Wild Grass, and we've got another Bandit on deck. Bummer. Well, nothing we can do. So just bring it out and waste that. And advance again. Yeah, that's our lumberjack. So we've got our 2 coins here. We've got a rock there. And then we can spend a coin to gain the wood here. So using all that, we've turned our felled forest into a lumberjack house. And then plain, shrine, swamp, and river. Use the effect to discard a friendly card to gain 2 coins. Then produce that for our 3rd coin to flip our shrine over into a sanctuary. And that is going to end our round. So for our next video, if I come back, we'll be starting with cards 28 and 29. So that was an unboxing of Kingdom Legacy, along with a how to play, and we got started on that. So as always, hope you enjoyed this video. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.